Exam Expert Series, HKDSE English Language Paper 3, Volume 2, Set 3. Instructions. You should have on your desk a Part A question-answer book, a Part B1 data file with a Part B1 question-answer book inserted, and a Part B2 data file with a Part B2 question-answer book inserted. Do not open them until you are told to do so. I repeat, do not open them until you are told to do so. Write your candidate number in the space provided on page 1 of the Part A question-answer book. Look at your Part A question-answer book. Check that it does not have any missing pages. Look for the words "End of Part A" on the last page. Stick the barcode labels in the spaces provided on pages 1 and 3. Close it when you've finished. Look at your Part B1 data file. Take out the inserted question-answer book. Check that the data file does not have any missing pages. Look for the words "This is the last page of the Part B1 data file" on the last page. Look at your Part B1 question-answer book. Check that it does not have any missing pages. Look for the words "End of Part B1" on the last page. Now, stick your barcode in the space provided on page 1. Close the question-answer book when you have finished. Look at your Part B2 data file. Take out the inserted question-answer book. Check that the data file does not have any missing pages. Look for the words "This is the last page of the Part B2 data file" on the last page. Look at your Part B2 question-answer book. Check that it does not have any missing pages. Look for the words "End of Part B2" on the last page. Now, stick your barcode in the space provided on pages 1 and 3. Close the question-answer book when you have finished. All listening materials will be played once only. The paper is divided into 2 parts, Part A and Part B. You should use a pencil for Part A. For Part B, you can use a pen or a pencil. Raise your hand now if you are facing any difficulties. After the test has started, no complaints will be handled. The test is about to begin. Keep the earphones on until you are instructed to take them off. Part A. Situation. The government is planning to increase the minimum hourly wage. As a journalist, your job is to interview people from different backgrounds to gather their opinions. You will have a total of 4 tasks to do. Follow the instructions in the question-answer book and in the recording to complete the tasks. You will find all the information you need in the question-answer book and the recording. You now have 2 minutes to familiarise yourself with tasks 1 to 4. Task 1. You are interviewing a security guard. When you are listening, fill in the form below. Write the information in the spaces according to the interviewee's answers. 1 space has been filled in for you as an example. You will have 30 seconds to study the task. At the end of the task, you will have 1 minute to tidy up your answers. Jenny, why don't we go to your workplace to do the interview? The air is not very good in this shopping mall.
It's even worse in my workplace because of the exhaust gas from the cars. I'd rather stay here.
Well, if you think it's okay for you, it's okay for me too.
So what's this interview about?
The government has proposed to increase the minimum hourly wage. What do you think about it?
To be honest, I don't know if it's a good proposal or not.
May I know the reasons?
Yes, low-income families can earn more because of this proposal, but the pay rise cannot keep up with inflation.
I can understand that. Those who earn the lowest income will still earn the lowest income. Increasing the minimum wage will never change the situation.
And if employers are to hire someone for the same salary, I would choose younger applicants instead of middle-aged women like me if I were them. I'm afraid that I might lose my job if the minimum wage is too high.
That's discrimination. You should complain about it if you lose your job because of your age.
It won't help. The last reason why I'm sceptical about this proposal is that my employer may shut down the company if the minimum wage makes their business unprofitable.
So what do you think the government should do instead?
I don't know too much about politics. You know, I'm just a middle-aged security guard. But I think if the government is really determined to help the poor, they should control the prices of daily commodities. Capitalism is a good system, but not a perfect system.
And what else?
They should build more public housing estates and allow more mainland visitors to come.
But many people say that the opposite should be done. That is, they think that the government should limit the number of visitors from mainland China.
I've told you I don't know much about politics, and I just tell you my opinions. I'm not sure if they are correct or not. By the way, I think the government should also introduce standard working hours.
You can say it again, considering that we journalists always need to work overtime without pay.
Can I tell you something about my worries?
Sure, I'm listening.
My family and I are living in a subdivided unit. The contract will expire next week, and I'm afraid that the landlord will increase the rent. Also, my husband was fired last week. I'm so worried about the finance of my family. But anyway, I don't blame the government for any of my problems. I think they have already done a great job because my kids can have good education and health care. I'll try my best to make my life better.
It's very good to think positively, and I believe that you will get through this difficult moment.
Thanks.
This is the end of Task 1. You now have 1 minute to tidy up the answers. Part B. Open your data file at page 2. Situation. You are Chris Wong, manager of the famous fiction writer Stephen Kong. A movie director wants to adapt Stephen's story into a movie. You will listen to a recording of a meeting between the assistants of the director and you. Before the recording is played, you will have 5 minutes to study the question-answer books and the data files for parts B1 and B2. Remember, you must choose to do the tasks in either part B1 or B2. Do not attempt both parts B1 and B2. Finish the tasks by following the instructions in the question-answer book that you have chosen and on the recording. You will find all the necessary information in the question-answer book and data file that you have chosen and on the recording. When you are listening, you can make notes on page 3 of the data file. You now have 5 minutes to familiarise yourself with the Part B question-answer book and the data file. The recording is about to begin. Turn to page 3 of the data file you have chosen.
Mr. Wong, my name is Peter. This is my colleague Jenny. Nice to meet you.
My name is Jenny. Nice to meet you.
I'm Chris. Please sit down. It's my honour to talk to you. So you two are Director Lee's assistants, right?
I'm his assistant director, and Jenny is my assistant.
Yes, the assistant of the assistant.
OK. We've read your email and already have a general idea what you guys want from us, so you don't need to go through everything again here.
It really saves my life.
It saves mine too, but Mr. Kong is very concerned about the modifications you mentioned in the email. Could you go into details about what you're going to change?
Jenny, I think you have the information.
Sure. The main reason why we need to modify the story is because we need to adapt a 900-page novel into a 2-hour movie. So the protagonist will have 3 partners only instead of 4. We just don't have enough time to develop so many characters.
I understand. It's not the first time Mr. Kong's books get adapted.
And because our target viewers are teenagers and young adults, we need to cut all nudity.
And the biggest change is that the protagonist will not die at the end, which is in fact required by our investors as they are planning to make a sequel if this movie becomes a hit. Oh, by the way, the story in the movie will be told from a third-person perspective instead of first.
I agree with that. Movies are very different from novels. Telling stories from the first-person perspective in movies are usually guaranteed for failure.
It's good that you understand why we need the modifications. Please help us convince Mr. Kong to accept them.
Don't worry. As I've just told you, it's not our first time, and Mr. Kong is in fact a very nice guy. Have you ever met him in person?
I met him once, but that was years ago. And by the way, Jenny, please tell Mr. Wong.
Please, call me Chris.
OK, please tell Chris about the schedule of our project.
First, the script is supposed to be finished by January 2015.
Wait a minute. Here I need to tell you, as required by Mr. Kong, that the script must be approved by him first. Will it be a problem for you?
I think it shouldn't be any problem. Jenny, please go on.
The movie is planned to be finished by June 2016 and to be released at Christmas the same year.
Finished by June 2016 and released at Christmas the same year. OK, how about the DVD version?
DVD and other storage media versions are to be released in 2017.
That is assuming everything goes smoothly, isn't it?
You don't need to worry about that. We have our experience and know how to do our job.
So, who will be the cast?
The good news is that famous actor Tony Chan has agreed to play the protagonist.
That's indeed very good. We're already half successful with Tony in our team.
You can say that again, and because Director Lee always wants to have new blood in his projects, all partners of the protagonist will be played by new actors.
How about the heroine?
I'm sorry to tell you that the actress for the heroine has not been decided yet.
By the way, because we are targeting the mainland market, half of the cast will be from mainland China.
But the problem is that most Hong Kong viewers can't understand Mandarin.
Don't worry, we'll hire voice actors for the mainland actors.
OK, now I have a better idea of your project. It's time to talk business. How much are you going to pay us?
Our offer is 4 million Hong Kong dollars, or 10% of the box office revenue, whichever higher.
Wow, frankly speaking, this is much better than the offers from our previous adaptations.
That's because we're also targeting the mainland China market, which is more than 10 times as big as the Hong Kong market.
And to be fair, our license is only for Chinese-speaking regions, including Singapore and Malaysia. If we plan to release the movie in other regions, we will discuss with you again. We just want to make sure that Mr. Kong is happy with our cooperation. Also, since we have invested quite heavily in this movie, considering that we have the best director and actor, our license should be exclusive, meaning that you shall not license other people to adapt the same story into a movie.
It sounds fair to me, but how about the license for the DVD version?
License for the DVD or other storage media shall be discussed later.
All right. and I'd take the opportunity to tell you about our requirements. Besides having the script approved by Mr. Kong first, he must also be properly credited in the movie and promotional materials.
This should not be a problem.
And Mr. Kong may want to play a character. Don't worry, he knows he doesn't look like a hero and never expects to be one even in movies. Just give him a character suitable for him.
We'll talk to Director Lee about it.
And last but not least, the movie must be finished on time. Mr. Kong is already 78 now, and his health is not really that good. You know what I'm talking about.
Got it. Don't worry. Punctuality is our priority.
So, what will you do after this discussion?
We'll first discuss with Director Lee and then present everything to our investors. After that, we'll check the schedules of the main actors and audition the supporting actors.
That is the end of the listening component of this test. You now have 1 hour and 15 minutes to finish the written tasks in either Part B1 or B2. An announcement will be made when time is up. Take off your earphones now and turn off your radio.